Hello there, Pamoko Hampton. Jamie here, back with your mystery shop results. Now, I sent my lead in Friday, March 20th at 5:56 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I inquired on a pre-owned Buick LaCrosse. Now, the first response received was the automatic reply email 1 minute later at 5:57. Now, I would like you to work on that response time. Remember, we don't recommend that auto response email. If you are going to send one, make sure to send it at least 3 to 5 minutes after the lead is sent. This way, it gives it that more personal feel. Remember, you want your customer to think that you sat down and took the time to type them a personal email. Now, I am going to go over that auto response in just a few moments here. I first just want to mention, though, that there was no phone call received. So the next response was an email that did appear to be generated by a third party, and typically we're not to include those in the coaching, but I did want to give you some credit because I never received the call. So I'm starting out the lead showing you the phone number that was included in that lead. Now here's where we can see that the phone number used on this shop was the area code 757-447-0565. Next, I'm going to show you my call tracking site. And here we can see a history of the calls. And as we scroll up here, we can see that there were no phone calls received from Pamoko Hampton. There was a test call placed to the phone line. This was early Monday morning. It's not showing on the tracking yet. However, I did include that test call in the audio portion of this shop, and I'm also happy to make you another video to show you this when it is showing up in the morning. But if I do a little search here, I find this easiest, and I just type in that 0565 number, we can see that it does not pop up at all. It's saying 0 of 0, so that means that there were no phone calls to that phone number. So moving forward, remember the goal is to get your customer on the line within 15 to 30 minutes of receiving the lead. This way you give your dealership that advantage. Remember, 95% of customers purchase from the first company to call them. So even if you receive a later in the day submission, you still have the entire next day to reach out to the customer. Make sure you're doing so. Now, for the automated response, overall, you did a nice job. It does attempt to be personal versus automated, as you do refer to the customer by name. In addition, you do include a signature file, so it does appear to come from someone. Just be sure that you're including a complete signature file. This should also include your personal email address and website address as well. In addition, you also want to build value, so include that proposition statement. You also want to attempt to elicit a response from the customer. So think of a question which will prompt them to hit that reply button. And again, finally, make sure to set the timer to be sent 3 to 5 minutes after you receive the lead at your dealership. Next, I want to review the email that was received. Now again, to me, this email does appear to be third-party generated, but I did give you credit on this one for it. So while it was received in my inbox versus spam, the subject line also defines the purpose of the email along with whom it came from, although I do suggest including that vehicle of interest. You also do mention that you will be calling the customer shortly. However, that never happened, so you definitely want to be sure to always call that customer. You do include a nice statement of value here, so you could also include that in that auto reply. And there are no spelling or grammar errors. So in the future, when sending the email before the phone call, which should only be done if you've already unsuccessfully attempted to reach the customer, you want to validate the customer's vehicle of choice with positive words. So say, great choice, or that's a beautiful vehicle. You want to make them feel good about it. In addition, offer information on it. So maybe some photos, specs, address the availability, offer multiple option price quotes along with alternate vehicle options as well, and make sure your signature file is complete. So also include that personal email along with your website address. Your secret code for this shop is CALL, C-A-L-L. Be sure to always pick up that phone and call your customer. You don't want to miss out on that opportunity to earn their business.